Here I am again. I've come to your computer. And I don't know. I don't really have a lot of plans for the stream. I'll be doing some drawing at some point, but I don't know. I'll be here. I'll be available, right? Isn't that what streaming really is? I'm just available. I'm available and I should be creating something that you guys can get something out of this. Did I get those taken care of? I think, no, I don't think so. This one, this one, this one, this one. You know, I wish I spent more time talking on the stream, but when I'm drawing, I just draw in silence, and that's the way my brain is connected to the process of drawing. So, I don't know. I guess maybe I could develop something that would be good for everyone else involved. So I do think about it, but I'm acquiring a lot of different skills, and I have a very simple brain. So my brain can only do so much. You know? You know? Don't you know? Oh, you know, don't you know? Don't you know? The brain can only do so much, you know? You know what's interesting is, as I do look at myself, I can tell, like, how I'm feeling by looking at myself. That might be why I don't like looking at myself. Maybe I'm not feeling good with myself. Some sort of personal thing I gotta work out, I guess. But it's stopping me from giving you fine people content. And there's a lot of work I want to put out. I have a lot in my heart. It's not to do anything except for just to simply express myself. So it's a beautiful thing that I have to offer. It's truly a symbiotic relationship. Look at that. Conformity Farm 91, 91, 91, 91, 91, 90, 90, 90. Jeez, I've been so disorganized. I'm going to try to, or actually live on this channel, I'm going to organize my stream. Surely not. It's never been done before. I should. Once the book's done, I should go through the stream and spend a day just kind of cataloging what I have. I don't know. Would that really benefit me, though? I don't think I should be meandering with those kinds of behaviors. I really don't think it's that important. I think I can kind of keep it awry for now. But we're going to do some cleaning now, right? Analyze cleaning. Should I clean my apartment? Should I clean up after myself? I don't know. Let's think about it. After thinking about it, I've decided after a long thought, sure, yes. Sure, yes. Look at how young I look when my hair's forward. When my hair's back, then now I'm a professor. Let's take a look. Yeah, there you go, baby. There it is. You see that? That's mortality there for you. No, I got to get a haircut. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I like the bangs long in the front. I do like that. But then I like to comb it over, you know. I don't know. I shouldn't complain. My hair's fine. I'm an old man. I'm an old man, and I have to accept that. Oh, I should get in the Discord. Sorry, I know you guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm actually cleaning up this YouTube channel a little bit, and it moves slow, you know? I'm actually astounded what websites can do. Like, you can run entire businesses through a website, a web page. Like, I don't know, it's pretty amazing. It might be time for me to learn how to code. Like, could I have... Ooh, let's ask ChatGPT to do that. Let's see what it does for me. This would be the first time I ever requested to write me code. Write me some code for Square Space website mimicking Apple's style for their landing page. Hopefully that's specific. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. Should I bring you guys along for the ride? I mean, why not? All right, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. I gotta share the wealth, right? Where is it at here? I do feel a little weird showing people. Okay, so it's giving me code. Squarespace doesn't allow direct editing of raw HTML. CSS, JS. In the same way, a full custom coded website like Apple's, but you can mimic Apple's landing page style using Squarespace's code blocks, custom CSS, and basic HTML structure placed strategy. I guess I shouldn't stream this process necessarily, but hero section, code block. Okay, well, let's see what happens. It's amazing. Can you design elements that are in line with Conformity Farm style? Let's see what the code says. Absolutely. Let's design a Conformity Farm. Okay. Okay. Absolutely. Let's design a Conformity Farm theme Squarespace landing page section that visually and thematically echoes your brand. See, I work a lot with the ChatGPT. I feel like an old person. I work with the internet to bring internet stuff to the world. Okay, what are we at here? Here's a conceptual module that could fit in the top. Okay. I'm really excited to try this out. Okay, cool. Can you give me a screenshot of the expected results? Yeah, show me what you're thinking. I live in this area where people primarily speak Spanish, and I was just taking a bike ride around. It was around rush hour, and right where I live, some of the intersections are so dense that, they're not very efficient. They're really tough areas to get through. There's just a lot of people here. Okay, I'm kind of not liking this already. I mean, this does not look like what I want, but I'm going to be sticking with Squarespace for a little while. So whatever we can do is what we're going to do. See, I don't necessarily want it to make images. I'll handle that part. Oh, they're getting the fingers right. Where madness is mandatory and mud is medicinal. Medicinal? Oh, it's interesting. Enter the farm. It's an interesting interpretation of what I'm doing. It's not what I'm doing, but it's almost like hiring like a marketing designer or something like that to work with you, and you go, okay, I see what you're doing. A lot of the time when you're hiring people to do things, it's because the bandwidth that you have can't dive into this other thing. And oftentimes, how do I say this? I need to back up a little bit. I have like a macro concept when handling AI, in a sense. I'm watching a lot of my colleagues really swear it off, and with a lot of conviction too. And I think that's a huge mistake. I think that you could lean into Conformity Farm. You could lean into AI in a way that will expose you in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's hard to tell what that is right now. But I think as long as you move with full conviction and understanding how to be Conformity Farm, where madness is mandatory. Okay, enter the farm. So there's a button here. Okay, cool. I like the idea. Okay, that's interesting. But this doesn't really... let's see. I want a page that moves the objects while the viewer is scrolling through the web page. There's probably a better way to say that, but I'm just a man. I'm just a man. What a man, what a man. It's interesting. I always think about like there's Martin Shkreli streams, and that guy never doubts anything that he does. Everything he does, I don't know if he has optimism bias. I mean, maybe not. He works super hard though. Like his work ethic, I think it does matter. I will say this. So here's the thing. Mark it down in a sense. What time is it? We are 9 minutes in. Let me make a note. I should be better at this. Or maybe I'll just snag it some other time. But I will say, I grew up in a city called Toledo in Ohio. And Toledo is what I would like to call a B-tier city. It would be, you know what I mean? It's like a decent size, like, I don't know. It's definitely better than a post-Soviet Russian country, but it's got elements of it of a time better past. And, okay, can you show me? Better time gone past, right? The industry left Ohio and it left dirty rivers and just gargantuan infrastructure, vacant warehouses, and just, less employment, whatever. I mean, it's a factor of things changing. But in order for me to be successful, I needed to leave my current environment because the culture and the speed at which things were being executed in that town are at a pace where you cannot be competitive enough to get the results that I was hoping for, which was having bigger dreams about, creating output. I guess the more pragmatic way to say it would be to create output really that I'd like to say is world class, but I don't mean that in a sense of like I don't want to get too hoity about it. Like, I think that's the wrong approach as a creative person. I have to express myself to the highest level, and whatever the maximum consumption that can come from that is just whatever it is. I can't really be caught up. I don't want to have this concept of figuring out how to be Mr. Beast or something like that. Like, I know I'm using that guy as an example because the way that Mr. Beast moves and thinks, he's thinking about maximizing at all times, being number one. And that's an admirable thing. That's the reason why we're even talking about him. But I think that there are different lanes that exist for this. And I think there's some that are closer to fine art where I can express myself in the different mediums that exist and do it in a way that can be commoditized so that people can consume them because they want them. And also I'm offering something authentic. I'm expressing myself and my experiences, my human experiences through these mediums. And that's the trade-off, right? And so I want to get better and better at that, at these specific pieces of output. And I want to maximize my output. And I want to do it to the highest level I possibly can. My point is that the environments that I grew up in didn't have a pace that was going to allow me that within a lifetime, I would be able to achieve that. Sure as hell, you can do this. You could do it in a remote village, with one power cable and one Starlink internet connection. I mean, it can be done, right? So yeah, there's an argument that can be made. Download screenshot, visual representation. But what about this? Maybe there's a different way. Let me get a little meme to ChatGPT real quick. Here's a visual representation of the landing page by the scroll-driven Conformity Farm code. Yes. I'm like being mean to ChatGPT. They're going to put me in a prison. What was I talking about? Oh, I liken it to, because it's not, I don't want to get caught up on like people, like there's nothing wrong with people in these different towns or anything like that. And I'm sure that there are cities that don't have skyscrapers that are just as productive. I'm sure there's parts of Connecticut, Omaha, Nebraska. I bet there's some places that are B tier cities that could really produce excellence. But I just think that as I get older, I'm starting to believe more in like, I don't want to say mysticism, but that there's like something happening that is undeniable, kind of like similar to a beehive. Like just being in the city and dealing with people in the city and people who come here and the mentality that it takes to be here and exist is something that requires, in order for you to be here, to really significantly step your game up. And that in turn starts to find its way into other things that you do. What I'm saying in a way is, okay, so cool. This actually is showing me, oh, there's an experience flow. I don't know what that means, but okay. Download the experience flow. I don't know. I think we can figure something out with this, though. I'm very excited about this part. Okay, so I wanted to take a look at this. But I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But it's a vibration. It's not, I'm not saying anything negative about these places. I'm just saying that it's necessary. Yeah. I guess that wasn't as deep as I thought it would be. I started at 9 minutes. How long is that? 5 minutes? Yeah, I didn't really say anything. I've been so sick. You know what's so crazy? This happens to me all the time. I get so sick that I end up in a state of mind where I kind of end up in a moment of clarity. Like I can't enjoy a life enough because I'm so miserable from being sick. I end up being alone with my thoughts. And these are profound moments. They're like, I don't know what it is. It's like, this has got to be a common part of existence, right? Where I'm so sick, I'm like, all I want is to not be sick. And then when I'm not sick anymore, I'm like, great. And then you just move on. But I think there's like a refreshing element to it, like a remembering of your mortality and just how lucky you are to have your health. And then when you do that, you start to think about like, you know, your work. I like to work. That's one thing I will say I am lucky with. I do like to work. I also like to chill, but I like to work more. And I like to work at a high level if I'm so inclined to. It's just sometimes, you know, I burn myself out with trying to be so good at things. And I want my things to be at a higher standard, but I'm not being like calm and patient about, you know, this is a long book. I'm writing an epic. You know, I'm doing it one drawing at a time. So let's just focus on laying the brick that we're laying now. Yeah. So, yeah, then we got this. So let's lay these bricks, huh? Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, then we have this. And he's also got those whiskers. So really what we're delaying on here is this mane that I gotta get going. I actually caught Karl Kopinski on a stream. I think Karl Kopinski might be the best illustrator in the world, in my opinion, based on the style that I really like. But he does things, he builds his drawings a little bit. He's not Kim Jong-gi, but Kim Jong-gi definitely had a lot of respect for Karl Kopinski. But I think he had a stroke or something. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what happened. I forget when I'm on these streams. Oh, here, let's let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Karl Kopinski's his name. Where is it at? California, there we come. No, that can't be it. Where's that at? I don't even see that. I don't know. Let's try this one. Yeah, where is that? Oh, here it is. I got so many web pages open. And I got ChatGPT open. I'm lucky this stream doesn't crash. Okay, what am I looking for? I was watching... Corey just put out a vlog. What the heck was I talking about? Carl Kapinski. I think this is the best illustrator alive right now. Carl Kapinski. He's done a lot of really great stuff for Magic the Gathering. But I think something happened to him. Look at the dynamics here. Look at this stuff. I mean, he's so good. He's really good with I mean, he's just so good. Let's see if we can find some more of his stuff. I should buy one of his notebooks or something. Here he is. I mean, this guy is just on a different level. He's up there with who's the guy? Frank Frazetta. Frank Frazetta is the guy who kind of made this style. Okay, look at that. T-shirts, Magic the Gathering cards, artwork. Oh, so he's got a whole Carl Kapinski, the website. Wow, cool. Concept art, illustrations. Let's look at illustrations. I might buy one of his T-shirts. Yeah, his stuff is just, he doesn't miss. And also, to really understand what he's doing, this isn't, I don't think he uses digital at all. This is what he looks like, actually, right here in the center. He likes to cycle or whatever. But yeah, he seems to do a lot of deep fantasy and stuff. I think something happened to him, though. He was in the hospital, and he has trouble holding the pencil, and he had a drawing. You know what might be better? To take a look at his sketches. Because I think sometimes when we see the final product, there are a lot of processes that exist where people can really push a final product to look kind of like this, but not quite. But his sketching is really kind of what lets you know. Here's his sketchbook. When you kind of see what he does, he's not, I mean, again, Kim Jong-gi was the best. But Kim Jong-gi really had a lot of respect for him. He was always picking on him, actually. Snow Warriors. About Carl Kapinski. Yeah, let's learn a little bit about him. He was born and raised in Nottingham, United Kingdom. Nottingham. That's like so picture perfect, huh? I've been working in the illustration industry since '97. I'm largely self-taught, using both traditional and digital. Oh, he is using digital. I have worked with a large variety of clients. Okay, yeah. Peter Jackson, Hasbro, Ubisoft. Yeah. Dude, you don't have to tell us who you worked for. We can see your results. It doesn't matter. Carl, you don't got to do this. This isn't a resume. We can see what you're doing. Okay, so these sketches help. Now, you guys see the drawing that I do. And unlike Kim Jong-gi, Carl Kapinski is more like me in a sense that he's got to build up his drawings. But he's just, he's making these decisions. You can get an idea of what he's able to build up just by, these sketches. So I think in a lifetime I might be able to get up to his level, because I'm kind of there in some ways, but I really got to work on my anatomy, my perspective, and I think those would be real killer. Oh wow, he does great ships. Like, I really do believe these are done without any reference. That's important too, and it gives it a different type of feel. This kind of illustration is starting to die out because it just isn't required for someone to get this good at freehand. We're really losing that skill. So I think that conventional art is about to get bigger again. I think that if you can do it on a canvas and it's not printed, people are going to really care about that. Yeah, look at that. Look at these look at this pose here. Look at this. He really got these down. That's why he's kept them. He knew this was a great piece. The layout for this is a little lacking, I think, but it's all there. Here's a real good one. Look how dynamic that is in the face and the front. The decisions he's making about where he's going to put shadows. That's the big part. It's like technically you could draw everything, but it's where you choose to draw and what that choice says about the dynamic of the drawing. And that's what allows us, because we're humans, I think that, we can really grasp and evolve things in a way that there's still space for artists, in my opinion. But you're going to have to really get with it, because certain common denominators are not going to be really worth it anymore. So I think that you being you is really the next thing. Okay, here's an interesting thing. I feel like some of this perspective might be off. Let's take a look. No, it's not. Here's the horizon line at the top here. And actually, why don't we pull this in and I'll take a look at this, see if I can find any flaws in this drawing. This would be an interesting exercise. Kind of give me some confidence about what I'm doing. Or maybe not. I mean, I am cartooning, though. He's doing a little bit of realism. Okay, so let's go back, and we will... There we go. So I'm back. Okay, so if I look at this, I would say let's give it a line. We'll make this line yellow, I guess. I don't know. So we know the horizon's here. So you can say the horizon line is like basically right here, right? This is kind of hard to see. There we go. It's a little better. Yeah, and then when you look at that, you realize that the ground is here. So I would say that the perspective lines, this looks kind of like 2-point perspective. It does pop out a little bit. I think the horizon line, yeah, so these perspective lines are basically like right here-ish, I think. I don't know. And then this line is maybe here. Wow, he's so good. But this is really the ground here. Yeah, and see, I'm not even meeting it right. But, yeah, I guess this kind of should pop out a little bit more if I were going to critique this. You know, he could probably bring the gun out more. Oops. He could probably bring the gun out more right here, where the blast is actually right here. Kind of moved in a little bit. But when you do that, well, I don't know. Yeah, kind of like this. Just kind of turning it out a little bit more. But this comes out. This is really nice. And this is more profile. So you can see him kind of falling into this. Now that, if you do that versus, so this is kind of 2-point perspective, but if we grab something from Kim Jung-gi, I think he's doing like 5-point perspective. He's the best, man. He just died out of nowhere from a heart attack. I was like studying him on the daily when he passed away. Let's find something with him. Oh my God, he's so good. It's amazing. Okay, yeah, this is a good example of it. I don't think you can get to this level without... I mean, I just have to draw every day for hours upon hours. This is my goal, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, yeah, I want to put out graphic novels and things like that, but I want to get to a place where I can create a world. I mean, look at this. So, I don't know. So his perspective is... His perspective line is like up here. And you would... Here's the crazy thing. The horizon line in real life is down here, right? Maybe. But man, look at the detail in what he's doing. This woman's face, even the choice of where the hair is, the highlight. Like, he might have worked this out a little bit. Might be something that he figured out. But that forehead to come out, to pick the line where the eye is, coming all the way around with this chin here, it's just stunning. You know, his understanding for perspective is just godlike. And this stick here, it's right. And if you watch him draw, see, what I was mentioning before is that Kim Jung-gi, or excuse me, Karl Kopinski builds up his drawings, kind of similar to what I do, or I attempt to do. he builds them up and says, okay, this is where I want to put it, whatever. Kim Jong-il doesn't really erase very often at all. Like, he does this without any bones, essentially. He was the greatest walking illustrator alive all the way up until then. And now I think Karl Kopinski might be that guy. And they just really don't have him like that anymore. There are good illustrators, but this is different. This is a different type of world building, cognitive, automated world building. It's a genius level work. I mean, it's really what it is. Yeah, so this fox here is holding this baby. Like, look at the storytelling in this drawing. This fox is holding a human baby. And there's some feet here, right? Just a chunky little baby. And there's folds here. And he's got his leg crossed, right? I don't know if this is his tail or not. There's a lamp here. The lamp's hanging on this. It's got some sort of mechanism to it. She's holding it, right? And the way she's holding it shows a lot of care. This guy's got a couple of books by him. Like, who even told him he had to do all this? Then right here, there are fish. And they're not particularly connected to any character. But there's just fish here. Here's a head. It folds off. Here's the back of one. Here's just the tiny tail of another one. And they're all tied and hanging here. Here's another fish at the bottom. And it's just it's a tiny little detail, right? Right? And he's getting just so much of this right. So if this comes out here, this is kind of the anchor point for this little roof. He's got like a tiny little awning, I guess, right here. And this has got one here. It hangs off. She's in front of it. I mean, just amazing. And then, okay, so then now you have this character, right? These characters, and they're just whatever, right? Her face, something very similar, right? She's looking this way. But even when you do this, I feel like when I do this, I would start drawing the front of the face. Like, I'm not trained enough to look at the top of the head. He gets that perspective so right. Not even just that. He puts a bun over here, and this says, well, humans aren't perfect, so this bun's a little bit off. Gets that Leia. She's got the pinky out. She's got 1, 2 fingers in, and then this finger right here is on the item she's using. So I don't know if she's holding it. What is she doing? She's holding some sort of rope or something? Yeah. But she's using accuracy. I mean, it's a level of detail that isn't even required of master work. I mean, he's beyond it. And so this one here, he's holding she's or they, whoever, whatever they want. And it comes through the thumb here, which is good, proper holding here. Then you got the elbow and the shoulder's in the right place, right? So this is the shoulder, and this other shoulder here, she's looking over her shoulder. The folds and the close are obviously correct. Yeah, it's such a good one, right? So let's go back to this lady. Look at the dramatic fabric falling right here. And then she's also got a design on it. He took the time to put a design, an elaborate design. Wow. Okay, so then you look at that. Let's get into this guy here. This guy's a whole other thing, right? This guy's huge. I mean, he's the biggest guy on the ship, right? And he's got this anthropomorphic bear face. He's got a big old smile on him. Just dynamic. Looks cool. Okay. Kind of a bear. He went with some cartooning. Eye placement. Kind of interesting here. Then he decided to darken this all in, right? He's got a tongue coming out like a cartoon character on a cereal box. He's got some ears popping up right here, right? So he can cartoon a little bit, but the even though he's cartooning, the anatomy's right. So he's turning his head. Now he's got these big, broad shoulders, like a offensive lineman. Not even just that, he's got makeshift armor on. So it's his like little kind of chainmail, who God even knows what. And then he's got this neck brace right here, right? And so you come in here and you put this kind of makeshift armor on him, chainmail, if you will. It might be wooden mail, if you will. And then the strap comes on here because he's got it on the base, almost like a vest type of thing. It's connected to it. And he's got a fucking sword on the back. Didn't have to do all that. And then your boy's also got a design, right? Nice and big. Now this is more, I would assume, Korean or traditional clothing. So obviously he's going to get this right from that aspect. Then he just simply drops the hand over top of here, right? It's good stuff. So you have all that, but then he's probably still connecting this ship. And if you look here, like check this out. Here's the top of the wood, right? On this end of the top of the wood, you get a little bit of it. But as you come here, it starts to kind of twist. It's hard to tell. It's very gradual, but like you're barely seeing the top of this. And as you come this way, I guess it's very, very subtle. It is. And what what separates good or fair or good enough that really gets into this other echelon where people don't even know what to say. I mean, he's a master. I mean, we're observing master work. That's essentially what I'm doing at the moment. It's the smallest detail. The kind of detail that I think many would tell you just, well, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to get that much right. Then look how flat it is right here. Right? We're barely kind of seeing it, and now it comes off. Let's see how it looks out down here. I guess we don't get to see it. So then you also have this one pops out. You can also see the top of this 4x4 or whatever it is. Then you go to this guy. Oh, and I love this. So you got a human being with glasses sitting on his nose. Now, if I were drawing something, I almost feel like I'd have to show the glasses because I'm a pleb. Because I would be, oh, that's got to be like that, The nose kind of profile, you hit that cheekbone, this drawn smile, just even an emotion. But then you look here, is this a mask? This is an old man's face? Is he a two-face? I don't know. But there's definitely a story here. He's got a mustache, and he's got a hat, right? And the hat, you can just tell that this hat is good, but it's, it requires regular maintenance. Such depth. Then you have a shoulder here, pretty normal shoulder, kind of a thin guy. And then you come down, and it looks like his arm breaks into two. Who told him to do this? So he's got one hand that's holding a pipe, one hand that's doing work, which has the hand pose that's all appropriate. Everything in this fits correctly. That's what's mind-blowing. And there's probably a video of him drawing this without any reference. He literally just sits down with a pen and does this. So he's holding this. And this is kind of interesting, too, because he's almost looking at it while holding it onto his palm. It's an interesting position to be in there. So he's holding this. You can see his palm is a little exposed. It's like a cup or something right here. And then the second arm is working on the other side of this. So of this, whatever he's using. And then you go over here and this dynamic, strong pose of this chimpanzee with strong hands, these teeth that jut out, a dynamic pose right here. For a lot of people, this would be their senior project, would be just this freaking drawing. This is just a background character in a sketch of his. And then look at this. Instead of making I'll give you an example of just how good this guy is. So this is a lamp, right? And I think there's another lamp over here. So yeah, this is a lamp. It's a little different, but this is a hand lamp or a lamp with a handle on it. So I'd imagine that a handle lamp looks something like this, right? It's a rectangle with some sort of thing here and something to let the light out. Then you put a top on here. See me sketching this out? Because I'm not a master like Guy was. So there's a handle here, And then what I might do is I might go, okay, that's fine, and put some sort of dynamic thing to it. But I might actually sketch it like this and then go, let's put it on top. Actually, I don't think I'm using the right layer. Oh, I guess this works fine. And then let's put it right like this, right? Something like that. So it's not too bad. But he used the foreshortening with this instead. He went the whole top, and just his flex is his humbleness. It's incredible. And they're on a floating boat in the sky. And there's things that the weight is correct. The space is correct. They've used all the space in here. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. But I'm not comparing myself to it. I'm just admiring it. And I don't want to be him. I actually see a lot of artists who are essentially being Kim Jong-gi, and they're practicing what he's doing, and so they're really good. But you got to do it on your own. It's going to take longer, but it'll be better in the long run. Okay. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of this. This is my observation time. How much time are we in? Where are we at here? 40 minutes in. Not too bad. Let's get our guy going. So we had this one. Yeah. And so I'm cartooning, and that's okay. It's okay to cartoon. Oh my God, I heard a great joke from Jerry Seinfeld today. It was something I think from his Netflix stand-up. I was pretty excited to hear it. I guess I shouldn't play it. Let's play some music, though. Let's see what we got here. Oof, I keep listening to interrogation videos. Ooh, Swisher Slicks on. Can watch his stream.
To keep it real, I deserve all this shit. Every whip up. Ready, set, go.
There it is. All right, let's get some sort of music.
AR-15 is like a nigga's out of existence. I have a MAGA hat now, but I might, if they made a new era version.
He would wear a new era.
Make a new era version, I might get one. I want them duck bill hats. I ain't no fucking truck driver.
He doesn't like the trucker hats. I like the trucker hats.
Make America great again. Feel it. Yeah, I ain't a real trucker hat guy. I'm a baseball cap guy. New era 5950. I was just watching something. I seen they had a Trump 2028 shirt on. I said, is that what we on? You're like, you know what? I've been doing so good, I ain't going nowhere. Fuck it.
I hope not.
Time for a change.
Yeah, time for a change. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, Snapback's got the best designs. I don't know why I just like the fitted hats, but I don't know why. Snapback's got the best designs, though. Like the fucking decals and logos, Snapbacks are the best. The fitted, I don't know what it is, man. It's just like,
I like the curve bill.
leave them kids alone. Yeah. Might be a helicopter chopper. I mean, might be a news chopper or something. It ain't the police. They ain't got no lights on nobody. No lights on nobody. Yeah, I feel you do what you do. My boy Tommy Gordon used to take his hat. He used to fold the bill and put it in his back pocket. But he's a real country ass white boy. That nigga used to fold and put it in his back pocket. Put his fucking dip in his lip. And goddamn it, Tommy Gordon ready to goddamn for the day. Ready for the day. Yeah, man, what's cracking, man? It's all kind of shit cracking. What the fuck is really going on in this world? Don't tell me Diddy and them was freaking on Lauren London too, man. God damn.
He should have his own show. I guess he kind of is when he's streaming.
You can't trust none of these hoes, though, man.
I wish I could show you guys what I'm talking about.
You know, you can't put it past a soul. Lauren London been in the industry a long time, too. But
I wonder if I get tagged for this.
Boy, God damn. They testifying this shit. God damn. Lauren London getting freaked out, bitch getting clapped to the day, boy. It's hard to tell a $1 billion nigga no, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Not the rubber band what's up, funny boy? I'm doing shit, rolling up some blue nerves. Trying to figure out if Lauren London really was getting cracked behind Nipsey's back. That'd be fucked up. That'd be fucked up. Keep talking about you don't want no man, you focus on Hermes, and you out here letting Diddy and them crack on you. I know that better be some bullshit, Lauren London, bitch. Can't look at you the same. Who are you? You gotta look at you like I look at the rest. Never trust a pretty smile. I'm just goofing. They really saying that, but I'm like, yo, not Lauren London. That is why. Nigga Nipsey died. She was like, you know what, Diller? It's been a while. Tell that bitch to sleep in the other room. That would be crazy as fuck. Her kids be gonna grow up in her day. Nipsey first daughter's grown now, bro. She close to it if she ain't. I'd be about senior in high school, nigga. She was old when she, not old, she was like 10 or something when they fucking got with one another. You know what I'm saying? She was already of age to where now she's hip to internet and shit. She'll grow up and whoop Lauren London's ass. Can't be crazy though, man. These freak dogs, they revealing some shit, boy. These motherfucking entertainers are some nasty motherfuckers, boy. I'm telling you, I gotta be the craziest.
They're always trying to get more and more, you know? They're like, what's it all? I feel like what it is that you get to that point in life and you're upset with all the work and
certain types of niggas. I'm listening to niggas who have sex with inebriated women and then tell the world about it and embarrass their wife.
okay.
That's not a good guy. That's not a solid nigga. I don't fuck with niggas like that. I don't fuck with niggas that ask the lady, was it good? What the fuck you mean, was it good? Bitch, hold on, man. And don't you have a wife and kids too? These niggas are some sinister guys, but they gonna come up in this Diddy transcript or something.
Yeah, Swisher Sweet's on some he's a bit foolish today. He likes to smoke weed and then get on and then give commentary on current events, more like hip hop news. Punching down Shane Gillis on flagrant. What?
I'm saying the jokes you're doing is not, it's not like,
It's not PC?
that's not cool.
You know what's really triggering?
You're making fun of these guys, these Down syndrome dudes,
Yeah.
putting out TikTok videos.
You're punching down.
I'm saying the jokes you're doing is not, it's...
Do you think you're addicted to camp?
Super security, you got...
No music? Oh, here we go. What if we do like 16-bit music? That might come through. It's just these speakers. I'm always complaining about something. Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't want to... I never really liked the monkeys, I'm not going to lie. Or whatever they are called. There we go. Alright, I might have found something. I think I can use this music. Well, we'll find out. Oh, Gray Fox. I didn't see you were here. Why doesn't it show me that anybody's here? Sorry, man. I didn't see any of your comments. Let's see. Yeah, how come it's not telling me anything? I was fixing to say what happened. I see it. Cut your hair like Skrillex. Yeah, Skrillex. Oh my god. Honestly, I had a Skrillex kind of haircut years ago. I'm past that now. I'm a filmmaker guy, so I go closer to GQ. How's the weather and the pollen count in Chicago? Lots of people having sinus level. Oh my god. It's so bad. I actually think I'm going to take tomorrow off and just go into the weekend working on this. And I have an exam that I'm preparing for. Yeah, you're good. I was wondering what was up. Yeah, I don't know why it's still not even showing me. So I just pulled up on YouTube, but YouTube has all your comments. But I use an aggregate to stream on YouTube and Twitch. And for some reason, it's not giving me anything. I'm very surprised. But yeah, here you are. Okay, so now I know. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know how long ago these were. I almost made you a moderator. The monkeys. Nah, it wasn't the monkeys. It was the gorillas, right? Yeah, why don't I take tomorrow off? Well, yeah, I guess I will. I'll just take the day off. Okay. Where are we at here? Since you started the stream. Oh, haha. Really? You've been here since the beginning? Oh, yeah, I've been cruising through. What about that other person's stream that I was listening to? How did the sound come through? And also, how are you hearing this? And can you hear my fan? I think I'm going to get some more coffee. Or it might be better just get some hot water. Coffee might be too strong. Message retracted. Oh, did you do that? Did you retract the message? So then we got another person. So here's the other thing too. I'm gonna have to pull up Twitch because I don't know who's seeing what. So let's do that. This music actually works pretty well. Is that Twitch? Okay, so then we're on here. No one's on here. Looks like I lost a follower. So those notifications probably bother people. They're like, what the heck? Why don't you like the gorillas? I mean, I don't dislike them. I just don't like them. They're not my thing. I don't listen to it and I'm like, oh, puke, gross. It's more like, also, is this music overwhelming? Maybe I should get my AirPods in so I can hear. And also, is it boring that I stopped drawing? Like, legit, like, give me some feedback. Like, is it like, should I just be drawing 24/7 and not talking? The sound is pretty good. I can hear the fan, but it's not bothering anyone. I have JBL buds, and you sound pretty good. Okay, cool. There's a lot going on here. Let me go get my... You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay here. All right, let's work this drawing out. Also, these fingers are just a little different. I also think I need to do a close-up of this shot. See what we can do. I really should just be sitting here working. Just non-stop, trying to be a beast. Yeah, so you can kind of see that I touched this up. It's hard to tell, but... I remember I almost lost this drawing. So we could actually say that this finger maybe goes up. Yeah, I'm kind of redrawing it. This is why I need to be drawing more. And yes, earlier I erased my own message. Music is decent. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you retracted a message. It's interesting. It shows that you retracted it. I don't know. How do I illustrate that some fingers are up and some fingers are down and that we're doing this? I might have to work something out and get some finger references. Yeah, this music's not bad. This is good music. This is good music for my stream. I'll be interested to see if they take down any of my stream because I listened to someone else's stream, but he's not a really big channel, so I don't think that they would have to store the data of matching his, or maybe they don't. I imagine they still do, though. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, let's macroly pull this out. All right, I'm not going to do this part right now. There we go. And so we have this one. Let's build on this drawing. I'm not really feeling... I don't want to build anything from scratch. Let's just get in here and get some details in here, huh? That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Let's just get in here and kind of work it. I feel like I'm always working on macro things. I want to get in here and get some details in here. The other thing, too, is I kind of change things a lot. And I think that you kind of have to, you got to commit to what you're doing. Otherwise, I'll just be here forever. I like when you're drawing, but I also like when you talk about other topics. I think it'll make it more interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm a decent conversationalist. People do enjoy talking to me. I get compliments about talking a lot. There's a lot about streaming that I can bring to the table. But I think that sometimes I'm just not in the mood. And I think that because I've been so sick for so long, I think it's just my way of socializing in a way. I'm just like, oh, I need to get out. And by get out, I mean sit in my office and draw. But I'm also working on this exam that's been so hard, man. I wish I could tell you guys more about what I'm doing, but I just can't. Every job I have, I can't talk about it. Isn't that wild? Yeah, I actually think the elbow would be up here. All right, I'm not going to keep changing things. I'm going to build on what I have. I got to find a way to clean this tablet. Now, I will say, now that I just got done getting sick, I want to do like a real deep clean on my apartment. Looked like there was just 3, so just 2 that came right off the middle. And what do we got going on here? Here we go again. You know, I got into my Rain Man, if you will, my flow state, and now I'm drawing in my flow state. Oh, these are more jaggedy. So these are more like, wow. So if you get closer to them, you want even more detail. So this is really going to be more like this. Man, how did I all of a sudden get a mood boost? I don't know where that came from. Might just be that I'm feeling a little bit better because I don't think I took any medicine. So this is more of a natural feeling. This is more of a natural feeling. I should send an email and just stay home from work. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm into the idea. What do you guys think? Should I just keep streaming through tomorrow? I'm considering it. Okay. These fingers don't tell me he really wants them. Yeah, I guess that's the better way to do it, right? Curving the fingers. 100. 100 what? I forgot what I was talking about already. I'm drawing first. I'm thinking and talking secondary. Yeah, I think I might actually just take the day off tomorrow. Let's write that email. Well, actually, I'll actually write the email super early in the morning. That'd probably be the best way to do it, I think. Yeah, this thing is so far behind and it still doesn't even see your messages. Yeah, it still tells me I got a bunch of... No, never mind. Doesn't matter. This music's not bad. Ooh, I kind of like this. Yeah. Meow. 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 That's a cool drawing. Hey, thanks. Man, I've been needing to do that for a while. Hey. Hey. I think this foot works fine. So you might want to just add a little bit more to it. Yeah, this is a cool beat. Someone should do something with this. Yeah, what's going on with this left leg? Oh, the leg's exposed for a lot of this. It's actually not true. So this is actually more of an exposed leg. Got this wrong. We might as well get it right, huh? Ooh, now we're getting there. Where are we at here? We're about an hour and 15 minutes. Let's put another hour into this drawing. Let's go, Tim. Let's go. Let's go, Tim. Oh, you rooting for me because I'm doing another hour in? Okay, cool. Cool. All right, now it's time to start laying down some blacks. You know, places that you know you're not really going to have to light. I generally hold off on this process, but since I'm trying to wrap it up, I think it's time to start going that way. And around the other way, in a sense. Let's highlight these areas. Oh. I think we can crush these now. Okay. There we go. Something like this. Okay. See, the thing about comic books is you really gotta get a lot of clarity. People like that clarity. the nuance is something I've always really liked. I'm like, oh, it's my style. But now with AI's got too much nuance. You got to really be deliberate. Ooh, maybe I'll do like a really early morning stream. Let's get right into it. Huh. Thoughts on what? Oh, okay. This is no copyright. I love it. Hey, man, the musicians got to give it all away, don't they? Isn't that crazy? That's what happened to music. It all was given away. When you take it all away. Deep programming music. What does that mean? Oh, sometimes it's too hard on the tweeters. I don't even know. Chill wave? Cool. Alright. We can do this. This can carry me along for a while. Maybe tomorrow I'll get a haircut. Ooh. Welcome to the stream. Concierge. What are you trying to say there? Yep, alright, I called off. Okay. I feel you, bro. I need a haircut too, yeah. I just, I kind of like the long hair. It's a weird kind of haircut where if I have them cut the top off, it never goes well. But it's at a length that if I just do the sides, I don't know. Maybe I can get them to do that, but then that's also kind of monstrous for me. But I almost feel like I'll go for it. I don't want to get a trim. The people who fade me up well, they don't do the top very well. I got to go to generally like a professional person to do the top well. Otherwise, I have to wait for it to get long enough for me to stylize it. It's a tough transition. I can never really get people to do it right. Hair, yeah. In my opinion, you look better with your hair long on top. You pull it off well. I know, right? Maybe I could just get... I kind of am thinking the same way. I might just get the sides done right and then just keep the top and keep it going for a little bit. I could maybe get it through one more stage. I kind of like where it's at. It does get a little floppy, like a little Conan O'Brien-ish, but I think, you know, you got to make a choice anyway. And so I think I can pull it off. It feels good too. I think you're right. I think I'm going to live my life the way you tell me, Gray Fox. Is there any other advice you got for me? Any other opinions that I can take from you? All right, what do we see here? Yeah, it's coming around. Honestly, you're doing good, bro. Like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, man, I could be balding. I guess in a way I am balding, but not really. My hairline from like 20 years ago is pretty much the same. What are we going to do here? What to do? What to do? And how come this isn't showing me anything? The only reason I know Gray Fox is talking is because I have the YouTube pulled up. It's very frustrating. I've always been able to depend on this thread. Just remember, it can always be worse. Oh my God. Yeah, well, yeah, appreciating things. You're absolutely right, my friend. It could always be worse. It really could. It could be, heck, it could be way worse. I could be paralyzed. I mean, I guess I don't have to list a bunch of things that are worse. I could be Lenny. And then just get a shot of Lenny. Lenny's like, huh? Huh? Yeah, I could be like Jack over there. Jack's just like eating soup. He's like, what? What? Fuck. I don't know how Jack, I don't know why I had to say the F word, but I don't know how Jack does it. What's going on in the world? I like this nostalgia music. It's not bad. It could always be worse. You're absolutely right. It could always be worse. Things are okay. I'm dealing with some tough stuff, but I put myself in those in the crosshairs of the difficult things by taking risks. And these risks will probably pay off in the long run. Just hard to tell now. Ooh, let's make sure to put this over here, just in case Gray Fox says something. You're right, it could always be worse. Ooh, what's this? Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind. Now, what was happening in the world? Man, you know what's interesting? I disappeared from the stream, and Luigi Mangione killed that guy, and Trump became president, and I wasn't here to give commentary on any of that stuff. It's kind of interesting. I will say it'd be interesting, like, I have my own opinions, and some of them aren't great, right? They'll have to improve over time, but I do have my own thoughts. That's why I think it's worth me streaming. It's a lot of hard work, you know, a lot of focused energy and stuff like that. I'll have to find him, but there's a guy on IG TikTok that is paralyzed from the neck down, and he draws. He actually draws pretty well. He holds the pen with his mouth. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I guess I never really thought about that. I'm surprised I haven't heard of him. No, please don't post it. I think it'll bum me out. I mean, you can if you want. Especially if his work is good. I don't think I'd be a very optimistic paraplegic. Okay. Let's see what's trending. Comey's trending? Is the number one thing trending on Twitter? What is that about? Author, James Comey, author of legal thriller FDR Drive, out May 20th. Husband, father, lawyer, teacher, speaker, taller and funnier in person. That's pretty funny. Funnier in person. The same crowd is outraged over Comey posting an image of 8647, but cheered when Trump posted a depiction of Biden tied up in the back of the truck. What? What the hell? So James Comey posted 8647. James, oh wow. 8647. Ah. I mean, obviously he can post that. I mean, I don't know. Can you? Can you talk about 86 and the president? I don't know. Maybe not this guy right now. Yeah, you can, but that doesn't mean that there won't be some sort of repercussions. A little surprised. All right, what else is trending? Game 7. Jalen Williams. 9/11 on NBC. I don't know what. Canes, Westbrook, Grey's Anatomy. Nothing really. It was a pretty quiet day in the world, huh? Ape Yacht Club. Okay, what's the news on them? Michael Burry. Oh, these are what's going on with Michael Burry? Tracking hedge fund. Yeah, I see. Michael Burry's basically predicting a recession. I don't think that's too crazy. There needed to be a sell-off, and I guess it kind of already happened. I wasn't really watching the market, though. But, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Then you got Sean Diddy Combs. This is what Sean Combs looks like right now. This is a picture of him in court. Kind of interesting. I always remember him with the sunglasses. Gotta add some sunglasses to this guy. Otherwise, it's not gonna make sense. There it is. Now it makes sense. Sean Combs. Now he probably feels a little more comfortable. I guess you could drop the opacity so you can see his eyes a little bit. There it is. That's about what he always looked like. He always had sunglasses on. I mean, he's not a particularly great-looking man. I guess I don't really understand how Sean Diddy Combs came into power. I know he's like a New York guy. I'm sure he came out of Harlem and went into Manhattan. Seems like he worked super, super hard. Let's look it up. Where did Sean Combs come from? Sean Diddy Combs. I know he changed his name. I think he might get an acquittal. Oh, wow. He looks way different here. He probably picked... Well, I don't know. He doesn't pick these pictures anymore, right? But that's like a much younger version of him. Yeah, man. What a situation, huh? Yeah, let's look into our guy. Our guy. He's not my guy. Yep, Harlem. He's from Harlem. Wow. So I've been studying for an exam for really deep theater, and there's a thing called a Harlem Renaissance. It's recognized in theater academia at the graduate level. That's basically saying that the renaissance of art coming out of Harlem is definitely noteworthy, and that's a curriculum that transcends the globe. Okay, here we go. Sean Combs. Let's read it together, huh? What would we say that? We would say that Sean Combs. There we go. Sorry, y'all. I'm still getting used to this. Oh, born in 1969. He's as old as my mom. Better known by Diddy, or formerly Puff Daddy, and P. Diddy is an American rapper, record producer, and record executive. Okay. So he probably made his money being an executive, meaning that he was the owner of many IPs and copyrights. Born in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon. I don't know what Mount Vernon is. Outside of New York. Oh, it's still part of New York. So he's a New York guy. That's kind of interesting. That's what I was saying. Like at the beginning of the stream, I was talking about it's where you're from really matters. Or where you're at, things like that. Because, and the reason why I say that is because it's a pace. You're being around people, like you're always, the one thing that was kind of a culture shock to me was that even though I had high ambitions of wanting to express myself as a creative, I didn't really fit into Chicago right away because I just was around very ambitious people, and I felt like my ambitions were much smaller. And, you don't want to just jump to match somebody, right? That's absurd. That's not a real person. But I started to really open my consciousness up to taking bigger steps. And once I kind of broke down that door, it was basically limitless after that. Harlem, Mount Vernon. Combs worked as a talent director at Uptown Records. Talent director at Uptown Records before founding his own label called Bad Boy Records in 1993. Okay, so if he was born in 69, how old is he when he started Bad Boy Records? So he would be 24. He's credited with the discovery and development of Mary J. Blige, Usher, and Biggie, for whom he served as a manager and hype man. Yeah, he's definitely a hype man. Combs' debuted studio album, No Way Out, peaked atop the Billboard 200 and has sold over 7 million copies in the U.S. Two of its singles, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down and I'll Be Missing You, topped the Billboard's Hot 100. The latter was the first hip-hop song to debut atop the chart, with a feature on Mo Money, Mo Problems. Combs became the first solo artist to replace himself atop the chart. His second and third album, Forever, So he's made music, and he did well in the late 90s and early 2000s. Okay, so, I kind of knew about him. It's me and Gray Fox's time frame a little bit here. So he was killing it around that time. Yeah, all of his hits are kind of coming in the 2000s. I think that was a time where the music game was pretty well pinned down before Napster ruined it all for them. Yeah, one of the wealthiest musical artists in the world. Combs tops Forbes annual. What do they have, like a prediction? Well, didn't he try to post like $100 million to get Bond? And they're like, no way, Jose. No way, Diddy. Combs top Forbes. Yeah, Monsters Ball. He starred in the film Made. I didn't know he was in Monsters Ball. Ciroc, early life. Let's look at that. Sean was born in Harlem. Yep, we got that. His mother was a model and a teacher's assistant. His father was in the Air Force and was associate of convicted New York drug lord Frank Lucas. Wow. At 33, Melvin was shot dead while sitting in his car in Central Park. So his dad was shot dead at 33. Combs was 2 years old. Wow. Combs has a sister, Keisha, and grew up in poverty. Combs was raised Catholic and served as an altar boy. Well, he graduated from Mount St. Michael Academy, an all-boy Catholic school, in 1987. All right. He played football for the academy, and his team won a division title in 86. Combs said he was given the nickname Puff as a child because he would huff and puff when he was angry. Oh, yeah, I bet he threw fits all the time. Combs was a business major at Howard. Oh, he went to Howard, but left after his second year. Okay. Then he became an intern at Uptown in 90. While working as a talent director at Uptown, under the guidance of the label founder Andre Harrell, he helped develop Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. In his college days, Combs had a reputation for throwing parties, some of which attracted up to 1,000 participants. Usher, who lived with Combs for a year in New York when he was 13, told Howard Stern in 2016 that Combs' lifestyle was pretty wild during that time. And in 1991, Combs promoted an AIDS fundraiser with Heavy D, held at the City College of New York. Oh, I bet those are good schools. Gymnasium following a charity basketball game. The event was oversold and a stampede occurred, which 9 people died. Wow. Shortly after being fired from Uptown in 1993, Combs established his own label, Bad Boy Records, which entered a joint venture deal with Arista Records. Combs brought Uptown signee Christopher Wallace, better known as Notorious Big, along with him to the newly established label. Both Wallace and Craig Mack began recording for the label and yielded mainstream recognition. Following the former's debut album and the label's first major project, Ready to Die, Combs signed more acts to Bad Boy, including Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, 112, Total, Father MC, The Hitman, and his in-house production team. Worked with Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Usher, Lil' Kim, TLC, Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, SWV, Aretha Franklin, and others. Legal issues. In 1997, Combs was sued for landlord negligence by Bongo. So he's got other assets. Combs denied the charges on April 15th, 1999, shortly after the music video for Nas' Hate Me Now aired on MTV's featuring Combs being crucified. He and 2 others burst into Nas's former manager Stewie Stout's office and attacked him. Stouts sued Combs, and resulting in Combs paying him out a $500,000 settlement, originally charged with assault for the event, Combs pleaded guilty on September 8th to a charge of harassment and was sentenced to spend 1 day in anger management class. Well, must be nice. December 27th, 1999, Combs, his then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and his protege, rapper Shine, were at a club in New York. Ooh, Shine's the guy who went to prison, didn't he? No. Well, we'll look into this. In Manhattan when gunfire occurred. Okay. So he's in a club and he's discharging a weapon. Prosecutors said that the incident was sparked by an argument at the club between Combs and another patron. After police investigation, Combs and Shine were arrested for weapons violations and other charges. Combs was charged with 4 weapons-related crimes and with bribing his driver, Wardell Fenderson, to claim ownership of his gun. With a gag order in place, the highly publicized trial began. Combs' attorney, Johnny Cochran, and Benjamin Braffman? Holy shit, man. Those are big deal. Yes, Shine went to prison. Okay. He's got Ben Braffman. No wonder he's still out. Combs was found not guilty on all charges. Shine was convicted on 5 of his 8 charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Oh, man. Combs and Lopez broke up shortly after. A lawsuit filed by Fenderson, who said he suffered emotional damage after the shooting, was settled in February 2004. Lawyers from both sides, having agreed to a settlement term secret, said the matter had been resolved to the satisfaction of all parties. Combs had to pay for all of it. 2001, Combs was arrested for driving with a suspended license in Florida. 2001. 2003, the National Labor Committee revealed that factories producing the Sean John clothing brand in Honduras were violating Honduran labor laws. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's down there dealing with that. I'm being sarcastic. Accusations were that workers were subjected to where are we at here? Were subjected to body searches and involuntary pregnancy tests. Bathrooms were locked and access tightly controlled. And employees were forced to work overtime and receive sweatshop wages. Well, okay. Charles Kernaghan of the National Labor Committee told the New York Times that Sean Puff Daddy obviously has a lot of clout. He can literally do a lot overnight to help these workers. Combs responded with an extensive investigation, telling reporters, "I'm as pro-worker as they get." Okay. Combs responded with an extensive investigation, telling reporters, announced that the improvements have been implemented at the factory, including adding air conditioning, water purification system, firing most abusive supervisors, and allowing for the formation of a labor union. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's optics, right? He's in the business of optics. So if it looks bad, he's willing to make a difference or make a change. Combs claimed that Combs had forced him to give up his share of Bad Boy Records through threats of violence. The case was dismissed because the statute of limitations had expired. Wow. 2005, an assault charge against Combs filed by Michigan Television Mills was resolved. So he's a violent guy. Later in 2000, whoa. Where am I at here? Legal issues, okay. Later in 2005, London-based musical artist and DJ Richard Dearlove, who had been performing under the name Diddy since 1992, 9 years before Combs started using P. Diddy, sought an injunction in the High Court Justice in London. He accepted an out-of-court settlement of £10,000 in damages and more than £100,000 in costs Combs can no longer use the name Diddy in UK, where he's still known as P. Diddy. In 2007, whatever that guy's name is, sued him for battery, claiming Combs had punched him outside a Hollywood nightclub. He claimed that he was attacked after he approached Combs while the rap mogul was talking to his girlfriend. Combs settled the lawsuit undisclosed. Man, he's punching people. He claimed the notorious Big and Combs orchestrated the 1994 robbing and shooting of Tupac. Oh, so the Los Angeles Times had brought it up. I had heard the rumor before, substantiating the claim that with supposed FBI documents. The newspaper later retracted the story, acknowledging the documents had been fabricated. In 2012, Dexter Isaac, an associate... Now, here's a weird thing. Why in the world would the Los Angeles Times put such a huge story out there that Combs orchestrated the 94 shooting with FBI documents, and then they later said, well, it was a little fabricated? That's a very odd move because, I mean, the barrier for which you need to be holding yourself accountable is pretty high before you put that out. And I actually feel like, even though we're pretty hard on journalists nowadays, I just have a feeling they probably did scrutinize it. It gives this feeling like he's assaulting people and then it's dismissed. You know, was it dismissed because they punted so long because he could afford to drag it out of court? I mean, a lot of this is really skirting the edge, man. The newspaper later retracted it. An associate of the management executive, Jimmy Henchman, confessed that he had shot Tupac on Henchman's orders. In 2015, Combs was arrested for aggravated assault after an altercation with his son's football coach at U of Cal. So he's fighting college football coaches. This is 2015. He's not a spry chicken. Man, the assault charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. This guy just thinks he can do what he wants. I mean, he hasn't been held accountable yet. He discharged a weapon in a nightclub, and he got all the charges dropped. 2001, all right, we're getting closer to modern time. Combs files a $60 million suit against the new owner of Sean John, claiming the firm used his likeness without his permission and fabricated quotes endorsing their new product line. In 2023, Combs filed a racial discrimination suit against Diageo, claiming that the spirits company deliberately kneecapped the marketing and sales of Ciroc vodka and De Leon tequila labels. In January 2024, Combs voluntarily withdrew the lawsuit with prejudice and also served the business relationship. Severed. Man, I'm getting tired. It's getting late. All right. This guy, man, see, that's like a licensing thing. So someone takes his likeness. Yeah, I get it. That's business. Even the discrimination, racial discrimination is a little, I don't know what's going on in his situation, but I think in 2023, you have a better chance of winning a racial discrimination case than you do in 1993, for sure. Okay, 2024, music producer Rodney Little Rod Jones, who is already suing Combs for sexual assault, filed a lawsuit against Combs and his son Justin, alleging they had engaged in massive cover-up of their involvement in the shooting of a 30-year-old man at a writer and producer's camp that was held at Combs' Chalice recording studio in Los Angeles. What? This is so much stuff, man. Former Syracuse University player and Combs associate Brendan Paul was arrested at the Opa-locka airport in Miami-Dade and on 2 charges of cocaine and controlled substance possession. He was released the next day after posting a $2,500 bond. Lil Rod has accused Paul of being Combs' drug mule in court documents. All right. I mean, the facts are tough because, there's not a lot coming out of these things. He's got good defense team, good lawyers. 2017, Sidney Rudia who previously had served as Combs' personal chef, okay, like a real-ass person, filed a lawsuit against Combs, all right, in Los Angeles Superior Court, claiming, among other things, sexual harassment and retaliation. The lawsuit was settled with an undisclosed amount in 2019. So they fought for 2 years, and then he paid her. Cassie Ventura, okay, that's the lady we're hearing about now in the news, with whom Combs had a long-term relationship, filed a lawsuit against him in November 16, 2023, accusing him of rape. I'm probably not even supposed to say that on YouTube, sorry. Trafficking and physical abuse. The lawsuit also suggested that Combs was responsible for blowing up Ventura's then-boyfriend Kid Cudi's car. What? Who is this guy, man? Combs and Ventura reached an undisclosed settlement the following day, and the lawsuit was dismissed. 2 further lawsuits were filed against Combs by 2 additional complainants alleging sexual assault and revenge porn. And November 23, one of the lawsuits claimed that in 1990 and 91, Combs and Aaron Hall had sexually abused a woman, with Combs recording the incident. This is looking kind of like R. Kelly stuff. In 2024, CNN released surveillance footage of Combs physically assaulting Ventura at the Intercontinental Hotel. CNN released surveillance footage of Combs physically assaulting... Oh, he's talking about Cassie. Yeah, okay, so we all saw that. And then he apologized for that. So it's all good now. He apologized, right? We're good now. The incident was among the allegations in the lawsuit. May 19, 2024, Combs issued a video apology on Instagram and Facebook. So he only deals with it when he has to. Otherwise, he can... I mean, it just really shows you what money can do. I hate to be so, obvious with these things, but... he had sexually... Combs and Aaron Hall had apology stating he was truly sorry and his actions were inexcusable. Combs' assault of Ventura was stopped by hotel staff, after which Combs allegedly tried to bribe the staff, according to a federal indictment in 2024. October 2024, Washington Post reported that a team of lawyers will be filing as many as 120 more lawsuits covering assault that took place over 2000 to 2010. Plaintiffs, 25 of whom are minors, are both male and female. One of the attorneys on the team said most of the assaults took place in New York. Half of the alleged victims say they reported the assault to police, to a doctor, or to the FBI. Some claim to have been drugged or offered hush money. Additional potential defendants other than Combs are also to be named in the lawsuit. The names that we're going to name, assuming our investigators confirm and collaborate what we've been told, or corroborate, are names that will shock you. Busby commented at a press conference in Houston, "I'm talking about not just the cowardly, but complicit bystanders. That is those people who watched this behavior occur and did nothing. I'm talking about people that participated, encouraged, egged on. They know who they are." Busby filed the first six of these lawsuits in New York. In October 24, Andrew Van Ardsdale LVA Law Group, which is working with Busby, said they had heard abuse allegations about Combs from some 3,000 people. 3,000 people? And their team is currently actively examining another 100 potential cases. Erica Wolf, a member of Combs' legal team, told the BBC that Combs looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. In 2025, Peacock released a documentary called Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, about Combs' life, current legal issues, An investigation discovery released a 4-part. Isn't it crazy? These docuseries are literally getting people put in prison. It's an interesting time. Now that's journalism. They're literally laying out evidence for the public and also for, people in the public who happen to be prosecutors and detectives. Looking forward to providing his innocence and vindicating himself in court. On February 12th, 2025, Combs' representative filed a defamation lawsuit against NBC Universal, Peacock, and Ample Entertainment, alleging Diddy making of a bad boy contained defamatory statements. Combs was arrested and indicted in the Southern District of New York, September 16th, 2024. So he's been sitting in prison for 8 months. So it's a long time, though, to sit and wait on charges of racketeering. I don't think I completely understand what racketeering is. What is racketeering? A type of organized crime involving a pattern of illegal activity, often conducted by a criminal organization to generate profit. Okay. So based off of that definition, racketeering means that there's a group of people. So then why is he the only person getting charged with the racketeering? I don't know. I guess I just don't understand it. Sex trafficking by force. Holy shit. And transportation for the purpose of prostitution. I didn't even know that was a crime. He is held in federal custody in the Metropolitan Detention. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so tired. Detention center in Brooklyn during a court appearance on October 10th, 2024. Judge Arun Subramanian sets Combs' trial for May 5th. So yeah, it's been about 10 days. November 27th, a judge denied bail for a third time. He had a third bond hearing. April 18th, a request by Combs' lawyers to postpone the trial for 2 months was declined. Wow. Why did they do that? The trial began May 5th with jury selection and opening statements and witness testimony. Yeah, Diddy is a monster. That's why people are glad that he finally got caught and is spending time behind bars. He more than he deserves. I'm a little taken aback by this information. I didn't realize that this guy was doing this. Now, I will say he must be connected to some very powerful people because he's been able to avoid this for a while. So let's delete these. I don't want this in my workflow. So it's kind of telling. But it also kind of makes me think about Jeffrey Epstein, which is Jeffrey Epstein. So they're going to charge Combs with racketeering. Racketeering is a group. So is there someone else who's being charged with the same crimes as him? Or do they generally don't they do RICO trials in groups? I don't know. I really don't. I'm in over my head. I study story and art. I'm just an observer of the criminal legal system. But if they have thousands of, this means that even if he beats this, they're just going to keep coming for him. I mean, that's why I feel like that his look in court is, what in the world, man? To just function with impunity. I wonder if his freak-off parties were setups to extort powerful and famous people. Because that's probably more valuable. Like, doesn't he own an island? No, P. Diddy, also known as, does not own an island. He owns 2 multi-million-dollar homes on Star Island, a man-made island in Miami Beach. Okay, so he lives on an island, but he doesn't own the island. He's got 2 properties on it. What's P. Diddy's net worth? What's he sitting on in assets? 400 million. So he's not. I mean, obviously, 400 million is a ridiculous amount of money. But I'm saying, like, Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire, and he didn't really do much. He was supposed to be a finance guy, but he never. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein was kind of an enigma. If I'm not mistaken, they were scared he was going to escape to the Cayman Islands, and they wouldn't be able to extradite him. That's why they kept denying him bond. Oh, okay. They thought he was a flight risk. He probably was. I mean, and with $400 million, it makes me wonder P. Diddy's bond request, or... So he tried to get a $50 million bond. Isn't that wild? If you have enough money, you can basically just pay for yourself to get out of prison. Like, didn't Epstein try to offer the highest bond? Epstein bond offer. Epstein was willing to pay almost any price to stay out of jail. Unlike so many people charged in state and federal courts, affording bail was not a problem for Mr. Epstein. He had offered to post a gargantuan secured by his $56 million mansion and a private jet. Okay. So he would have signed those over? I don't know exactly how that works. $56 million, huh? What's the highest bond ever posted? What's the most expensive bond ever posted? $3 billion by Robert Durst. While determining the absolute most expensive bond ever posted can be tricky due to variations of how bond is defined and recorded, Robert Durst initially set a $3 billion in a murder case, reflecting the severity of the charges and perceived flight risk. The amount was later reduced. $1 billion was set due to fear she would flee the country, highlighting the complexity. Honestly, I don't really understand. Trump had a $464 million bond related to a civil lawsuit where he was accused of misrepresenting asset value. That seems a little much. The Donald Trump asset value issue is a little goofy in a sense, because I think that, shouldn't all the people in the subprime mortgage crisis all be going to jail then? They all lied about their income. Listen, I think there's plenty of things to complain about with Trump and to talk shit about. The guy's a buffoon in many ways. He's definitely not a perfect president by any means. But sometimes some of the stuff just it's too egregious. Sam Bankman-Fried initially granted a $250 million bail, which was later revoked. Oh yeah. So he actually paid the $250 million. Isn't that wild? So the court got to keep $250 million. I would say the theory of a bond is an unequal society, right? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Let's have it's hard to have philosophical conversations with ChatGPT. It's very sycophanty. It wants to agree with what you want to say whenever it's not. Well, you know what I mean? Like, it wants you to like it. And it kind of sucks. It kind of makes me like it less. From a philosophical perspective, is the bond system in the court system unfair? I mean, it has to be obvious, right? Yes, from many philosophical perspectives, the bond and bail system in the court system can be seen as unfair, particularly when examined through the lens of justice, equality, and liberty. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it should have never have gotten this far. Here's how different schools of thought might critique it. Rawlsian justice. John Rawls, the system should be fair to the least advantaged. Bail systems disproportionately punish the poor. A wealthy defendant can walk free while a poor defendant charged with the same crime remains in jail, not because of guilt, but because of the lack of funds. Utilitarian, greatest good for the greatest number. Okay, so I adhere to this. This is John Mills. This is Western philosophy. So this, when you get into Western philosophy and you get into the guts of it, these were the cutting edge philosophical minds when the founding fathers were drafting the Constitution. So they indirectly, they probably didn't expect this, but they indirectly their philosophy ended up being, they probably never could have guessed, because some of these guys died before they even knew that their philosophies were being adopted by, this continent across the ocean. So it's a very interesting thing. I mean, all these ideas, they're written down. There's a record of them. Pretrial detention causes job loss. Yeah. Family disruption. Yeah. I mean, bro, if you're dating a girl and you just get thrown in jail and you have to prove your innocence, like if you're just dating this girl, bro, it's over. It's over. Psychological harm. Yeah. You lose your job. You lose your income, all before guilt is established. These harms may outweigh any societal benefit from briefly detaining potential dangerous people. If the societal cost of unnecessary detention is high and benefits are marginal, the system fails the Unitarian system. That's on the judge, I guess. Libertarian. Okay, what does the libertarian think? Holding someone in jail without conviction violates personal liberty and the presumption of innocence. In a libertarian view, pretrial detention is a gross overreach of state power, unless there's compelling evidence of risk. That's tough, though. Like, well, the compelling evidence of risk would be the charge itself. So if you did aggravated robbery or assault, I think violent criminals should be in cages. Murderers, I don't know how to say apists. The bond system reduces class inequality by, if I'm not mistaken, they were scared he was going to escape. Oh, I already read that. Yeah. So, yeah, there we are. Yeah, so ChatGPT, 80% of people in jail are there pre-trial, often due to inability to pay bail. Pre-trial detention increases likelihood of guilty pleas, even for innocent defendants, because it coerces them with time pressure. Oh, that's so messed up. Yeah, we need justice reform bad. All of the stuff that America needs has to be done through the legislature. That's the way the system is. And our legislature is benign because they're kind of neutralized by big money. We're in a tough spot, man. We might need a revolution. It's a bummer. Because revolutions, especially in America, I feel like a revolution, it'd be like 30 or 40 years before we ended up getting like something good. It would just suck for a long time while we tried to figure it out. Let's see if we got this. All right, y'all. It was a fun stream. I'm taking tomorrow off, so I'll be around tomorrow. Let me know what you think. If you ended up watching any of this stream, did you like me not drawing and talking about other things? Because if that's the case, then I can stream for longer. Because this is the kind of stuff I would do anyway. You can refer to them as grapists, or you can use the grape emoji. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be defiant towards YouTube. I mean, I think as Google loses its position to ChatGPT for search and therefore losing ad sales revenue, which is the number one driver of revenue for Google, I think that YouTube's going to get a bigger spotlight because there's a chance that YouTube ends up being the biggest search engine on the internet. and maybe the biggest platform on the internet. So I would like any ambassador, I want to have the mouth ninja. I don't know what that means. Mouth ninja. Oh my God, my mouth is just exhausted. I've just been so sick today. Anyway, didn't mean to complain, but to tell you guys what's going on. Thanks for hanging out. Did a little bit of learning. He's the guy I was saying that draws. Oh yeah, bring him up tomorrow. I'll look into him. But anyway, yeah, no, thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to shut everything down. I'll be back tomorrow. And we will draw, work on the graphic novel. We'll take in current events. We'll look at the stock market. Yeah, we'll just live, right? Because the thing is, like, I have to make time for streaming. I just got to be me. I can't, like, try to fit something else, you know? I do like the idea of turning it into a show. But for now, it just is what it is. This is the stuff I do. So you're here for the ride, and I'm producing stuff. So if you guys like watching me stream, maybe I'll stream making a music video or a short film or a feature or something like that. And so just stream more and more of it. So I think this streaming is the future. I feel pretty confident about it. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. I love you. Be good. Take care. You know? Take care, they say. Take care, y'all.
Hello, today, class. I will be teaching you the foundations of science, which the first thing you must understand. Stupid people. You can believe that. Dart, dart. Today, class, I will be teaching you the foundations of science, which the first thing you must understand is science is bad. And I know what you're thinking. If you haven't studied science, then how could you possibly know? You don't have to be educated to have a strong opinion. And if you're willing to believe that, then you're no smarter than stupid people. You can believe that. Dart, dart.
Ah, good job, Squeak. You shall be rewarded with currency. Here's $1.
Thank you so much. This makes me feel like a true contributor to the society.
Ooh, delightful. Vote for Conformity Farm.
Yes! I like
Vote
this!
with your life.
Yes!
Vote with your follow. Vote by going to a Patreon account and putting your credit card information in and giving money to the Patreon account every month.
I hate you.
Oh, come on, it's free.
Dut, dut.
See, Squeak? Doesn't that sound like a very nice way for someone to spend their dollar?
Yeah, I think that would be very nice if someone contributed, but I just only have this $1, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it.
Come on, Squeak, come on. Come on, Squeak, come on. Come on. Squeak, give me that $1. Come on. Just give it. Oh, come on, Squeak. Don't be such a conformist.
Oh, I'm not a conformist. Take my $1. There you go. Call me a conformist.